Our next speaker is Tommy S. on the Just for Today.
SPAD.
Oh yeah, spiritual principle today.
So this is pretty cool. I'm Tommy and I'm an addict.
Hey, Tommy.
I'm not going to read the spiritual principle of the day.
Trust through intimacy. Having
My daughter
honest,
is.
open dialogue. Building trust through intimacy. Having honest, open dialogue with our sponsor brings us to a new level of trust. As we experience intimacy in that relationship, our ability to be intimate with our partners and with others increases as well. Living Clean, Chapter 4, Sex. It's impossible to paint all recovering addicts with the same brush when it comes to our experiences with relationships. To state that we are all permanently damaged and have never had a healthy relationship or experienced intimacy is an overstatement. What we can say is that most of us are shut down when we get to NA. We bear scars from unhealthy relationships. Many of us are certain that sustaining a romantic partnership or being the parent our kids deserve, and vice versa, are impossibilities, considering the injury and chaos we've caused. We don't want to get too close to anyone for fear of rejection. Trusting people? Being honest about our feelings? No way. If intimacy is a spiritual principle we value and a quality we want to bring to our relationships, then we need to practice it. We must surrender to learning new skills and refining existing ones. Being honest, sharing feelings, owning our part, listening to and integrating feedback into our behavior, and accepting where our partner is in their growth. Ideally, the relationships we forge in NA allow us to explore intimacy in a safer environment than what we've used to, with other recovering addicts who are striving to do the same. For many of us, it's a relationship with a sponsor guiding us through the steps that inspire us to know ourselves more intimately and to experience intimacy with others in new ways. However, this role isn't limited to our sponsor. As we start to open up, we may find multiple members that we can learn to trust. We addicts may bear the scars from previous attempts in trusting others, but not all scars are permanent. I will make today a day of healing from my past relationships. I will do this by being willing to share intimately with someone I can trust.
I'm Tommy and I'm an addict.
Hey, Tommy.
She asked me if I was nervous last night. And I was, but not too much. And then I sat down at the table and I looked at the big ass fucking chandelier, and out of nowhere I got like really shook, and my fucking hands right now are like a pond. It's crazy. So trust through intimacy. It starts off with talking about a sponsorship relationship. It goes a lot of different places. Especially about carrying scars and carrying hurt and trauma from past relationships into our new ones. It could even be carrying scars and emotional strife into the same existing relationships, just perpetuating a fucking cycle of emotional atrophy. This past like 9 months have been like really fucking hard for me, for my family, for my loved ones. I do carry a lot of emotional baggage into all my relationships, unfortunately. I know that I'm not unique in that, but it doesn't make that any less difficult to deal with, become aware of, and then try and actively change. I got daddy issues. I got mommy issues. I pushed my daddy issues onto my sponsor. It's fucking crazy. Displacement, transference. I got this thing inside me that, I always walk around feeling abandoned. I'm a fucking 40-year-old man, and I still feel like a forlorn child. And, it manifests in a lot of different fucking ways. So, we're talking about trust through intimacy, right? Can't have fucking trust through intimacy without admitting vulnerability, or else it's all fucking fugazi. It's all bullshit. Just like Sam was saying about honesty, if we're not fucking honest, we're not gonna get anywhere. Just not. And I'm playing around in my head right now with how honest I want to be with you guys. I'm like back and forth, ping pong. Like, how honest am I actually going to get? Am I actually going to talk about what's been happening? Or am I going to be a cryptic motherfucker and like try and dance around it? Like, can I slide certain things in and then like get out real quick before I get emotional? Listen, so my pop left when I was about 4, right? He made money. My mom didn't have an education. My mom didn't have a job, because back in the 80s, that was a fucking possibility. Today, not so much. So, me and my moms didn't have shit. And, grew up kind of hard. Going to bed hungry as a kid hits different. I did it as an adult, but doing it as a child, it's different. It hurts deeper. So we talk about, whatever means necessary. Shit, Getting and using and finding ways and means to get more at a very young age, that was fucking food and money. Me and Dane talk about it all the time, getting fucking jailed on for our kicks. Because we grew up with very, very, very little. And, we overcompensate in different ways for carrying emotional scars. Just as small as something like that seems, it's fucking huge. So me and my mom, she worked a fashion bug. I don't even know if any of you motherfuckers, plenty of you do. Yeah, that's right. Dylan, you probably don't. It's all good though.
I love it.
So, she worked a fashion bug, and she had a dream, and her dream at that time was she wanted to provide for her kids. She didn't want to have to rely on a man that would fucking bounce. She wanted to be able to provide for her kids, like Sam was talking about, providing for her kids. That's all she wanted. So she started with certifications. And then, she got her foot in the door, and then got her bachelor's in nursing. And she graduated on the dean's list while raising 2 boys, one who was constantly in and out of jails and institutions, another one that was a sweetheart, but started to change in response to the world around him. That was me. I hesitate to say that she was one of us, because one of us means something different to me today. One of us means... What's the only requirement for membership?
Desire.
It's desire, right? She struggled with desire.
Come on.
She did. So, I can't say she was one of us. I could say that with what she was working with, she loved her kids deeply. I'm talking a lot about my mom because she died, and it rocked me. But it wasn't even her passing away that rocked me as much as the process before. When my pop left, she did everything. And, in the fucking nursing home, she was like in and out of like cognizance. And, she was telling me that her back hurt. So, I grabbed her hands and I was holding her up. She was like, just hold me. I said, alright. I'm leaning over the bed. And I'm holding her, and she's like, Thomas, like, I never wanted to live like this, where I can't do anything for myself. I always did for myself. And she fucking did, and she did for us, And yeah, of course, there's some fucking emotional baggage there. I mean, bitch got it in. She got hot. And, we used together. And for the first, like, fucking 4.5, almost 5 years of my fucking recovery, I used that as a fucking excuse not to have a relationship with my mom. And, twisting the literature, I mean, it wasn't even a motherfucking stretch, because, we say, don't go around people you use with or places you use that, you know what I mean? So it was like, well, I used with her in her motherfucking home, so, alright, A lot of that shit flipped, though. Listen, in recovery, in active addiction, I had a son. I left that boy. Just like my father left me. Different reasons. Same manifestation of fear. In recovery, I became a father. In recovery, I became a husband. In recovery, I became a fucking son. In recovery, I became a fucking friend. And, intimacy is a tricky fucking thing. It really is, because when you walk around with fucking scars, there's always like a level of self-preservation, especially from the street. You just got that. And if you don't, then like, damn homie, you're fucking special blessed. But I'll twist all kinds of shit. The relationship that I have with my fucking sponsor today, and I'll get more into that, but shit, we went over my 4-step of fucking during like the heights of COVID. And, intimacy, there's like multiple fucking definitions, right? Only one has to do anything with sex. I was like, damn, man, like, we get any closer, I'm gonna try and fuck you. Like, that's crazy. Fucking love you. Yeah, and that's, like, I didn't confuse sex for intimacy. I did the other way around. Anybody that I got emotionally intimate with, I was like, damn, I might be attracted to this person. It has nothing to do with me wanting to touch a pee-pee. It just has to do with like, yo, for real, there's an emotional depth to the shit that we get into talking about therapeutic value and intimacy, there's an emotional depth. You know, the only fucking thing that I wrote down, because I had to go through definitions, of course, but intimacy, belonging to or characterizing one's deepest nature. And that's what I'm trying to get to. My deepest nature. What the fuck does that mean? And what the fuck does that look like? What does it look like in my relationships? Can I get to and allow myself to be vulnerable enough to show my deepest nature with those that I'm supposed to be intimately involved with? Can I do that? So, my mom passed away. And like I said, in this process, I became a father. I became a husband. I became a son, so on and so forth. So, I'm doing shit at my mom's house. And, going through all kinds of shit. My brother also passed away. My one and only brother, I got him around my neck right now. And, he had a daughter, my niece Hopi. And she and I have been going through my mom's life together. Going through her father's life together. Going through all the other family members that were collecting their ashes and just adding to the collection of ashes that we already got. Fucking finding letters from my father to my mother. They haven't been together for over fucking 35 years. Fucking wild. She still kept that shit because she still fucking held that man so close to her heart. Never let him go. Finding crazy shit. That's right.
Yeah, I know.
How honest. Not my
honest.
shit.
Get honest.
But it's fucking funny. So my mom decided she was going to write a list. And it was her fuck list. Yo, I found my mom's body list. And she rated them. She fucking rated them. Yo, my pop, he wasn't the one with the most stars, neither. He wasn't. It was this dude, Mike. And this dude, Mike, she had a picture of that motherfucker in her nightstand. Alright. That's all we'll say. Alright. I do wish my mom had more stars on that list. Poor woman. Yo, she had nicknames too. There was Wawa Cowboy. What the fuck? Oh, I was dying. I was like, good for you, Ma. Good for you. Wawa Cowboy. He had no stars, neither. None.
Good name, though.
Yeah, fucking right. I'm gonna see him. So, my niece and I have gotten a lot closer in this process. When my wife and I got married, a lot of my vows were to the kids. I have a boy. He's going to be 20. The 6 grades that I have, they're 2 are from him. My wife has a daughter, Riley. That's who read the spiritual principle of the day. She's the shit. She's the shit. When I bought the house that we live in, you know, it took me a while to understand what commitment really meant and what it was really hitting for. And we were fucking around and doing some electrical that I should have called Mark for, but I didn't. Because, you know, I could do some things. Wasn't upgrading a panel or nothing. And I said, yo, what do you want to call me? And she said, I want to call you Dad. I said, all right, you got that. You got that. And after that, I told her my relationship with you is not contingent upon my relationship with your mother. No matter what happens, my relationship with you is not contingent upon my relationship with your mom. Fuck.
Come on. Love you.
So I was up at my mom's house, and I took a commitment to chair our home group. We were fortunate enough to be able to open up a second day, and my wife called me. She said, Riley just handed me a suicide note, and she downed a bottle of pills. So, trust through intimacy. That little girl carries scars. She was abandoned too. I told her I would never leave her, you know. Told my son the same shit. But I did. But, she's alright. She's alright. Obviously, she fucking read so eloquently. She really did. She's fucking 14. And it's not like she prepped for that. She didn't read that shit beforehand. But she carries some shit, and, you know, with parenthood, my son fucks around, you know, woke up one night with him at the edge of the bed covered in blood, 4 a.m., no wallet, no phone, just covered in fucking blood. Didn't even know what happened. He was in a fucking blackout. The powerlessness in that moment was like totally eclipsed by the powerlessness that I felt when I was doing like a fucking $120 down Indian Trail. And both of my closest people were like, yo, the fuck are you doing? I missed the ambulance, but, you know, I got to the hospital and, stayed overnight. Like I said, you know, the two closest people to me, people asked about my mom's funeral, you know, and the way they asked about my mom's funeral, I was like, I ain't fucking telling you, like, everything about, like, where and when, because I don't want you fucking showing up. This motherfucker did, without my permission. And then my daughter did what she did, and I'm fucking flipping out. And my sponsor pulls up. I don't need a lot of people. I don't. Sam said it. Just get honest with one person. I am fucking fortunate that I could be honest with a few. I could be honest with my wife. I could be honest with my son. I could be honest with my daughter. I could be honest with my sponsor. I could be honest with a friend. You know? I could be honest with my father. The forgiveness that I had to experience with my father was profound. You know? And I try and be the parent to Rye and Aid and Hopi, my niece, that I didn't have, that I always wanted, you know. So I've cried with those kids. I've cried with my close people. Intimacy built through a level of emotional vulnerability and trust that I never thought I was capable of. Now, just like it said in the spiritual principle of the day, to painting addicts with a broad brush, a lot of motherfuckers are like, I wasn't close with anybody when I was fucking smoking rocks. And when I was fucking shooting dope, like, I did have some close relationships. I did have some intimate relationships. You know, I do believe and I do know that self-centeredness is the core of my disease, and I know that those relationships were severely impaired and handicapped by my self-centered nature. However, that doesn't detract from the intimacy that was involved. Today, I'm aware and I'm present. It's different. It's fucking different. This fucking recovery process, it's a fucking beautiful thing, you know, but at the same time, like, my scars don't just disappear, and I don't just, like, have to face them once, like Sam was saying. Like, I have to face them over and over and over again in every single interaction with every single person that I'm close with. And when shit happens like this, it challenges every single perception that I thought I had. And there's a healing process from things that I didn't even know I had to heal from, that things like this just illuminate within me. Ruminating on mortality, like I've had to do, like, it makes me think about what the fuck do I want to be? Who do I want to be? You know? When Rye was in the fucking facility, I couldn't do shit. We weren't getting calls. Yeah, Dane picked me up for our home group, and we were late because Rye called, and she was like talking about being in group and hearing all the other kids talk about their fucking their fucked up ass family life, and she was like, I didn't have anything to say because you guys are great, you know, but yet she still don't want to wake up in the morning. How do I fucking reconcile that? How do I fucking help that? I don't fucking know how to fucking work with that. I don't. I'm like, damn, man, like if you... fuck, no. Maybe I should be a fucking dickhead. I can't save shit. I can't save shit. The only thing that I could do is fucking be there. But I couldn't do anything, legally speaking. My wife had to fill out all the fucking paperwork. She had to fucking do everything. I wanted to pick her up. I couldn't even pick her up. She had to come with me. I wanted to pick her up the night before. That wasn't fucking happening because she couldn't. My wife couldn't. So I told her, I said, I don't want to be fucking handicapped anymore. She calls me dad, so instead of just the name, let's just move towards full adoption. Need that. Let's allow her to feel as loved and as wanted as she actually is. And and my niece, you know, her dad died in 2012, and she was a little girl. She was a teenager, just became one, and you know, I know how it felt just my pop leaving as a boy, trying to figure out how to fucking be a man. Being a little girl and your daddy dying, some other shit. And she walks around so hurt all the fucking time. So I was like, hey, Opie, how would you feel if I know you're fucking 26, but how would you feel if I adopted you? And you know, I ain't your dad, never gonna be your dad. Not trying. There's no such thing as filling shoes. There's just not. I'll always be your uncle, and you'll always be my niece. And she was so fucking elated. She was so fucking elated, just because she felt wanted for the first time in her life, because her mom was kind of. Listen, her parents met in a mental institution. Match made in motherfucking heaven. Shit was fucking wild. All I could do is recovery. Recovery isn't just like, don't fucking shoot heroin, don't smoke crack, like, don't smoke herb, don't fucking drink. It's not, it started like that. It started like that. It ain't that for me. It's, can I be an emotionally mature, grown-ass man that takes care of his fucking family as well as himself, focusing on mental and emotional and spiritual well-being? Can I do that? And if I can't, then what the fuck can I do to get there? This ring, right? When my mom died, this is the last. Yo, she had a lot of fucking gold. When she made RN, she was like, I'm showing this shit the fuck off. She had a lot of fucking gold. And due to the intimate nature of my relationship with people that I tell that I love, I was able to have a conversation thrown back at me and an idea to physically, emotionally, and spiritually transform my mom's physical manifestation of monetary success into a new fucking symbol for myself and those that I love. the Roman god Janus, right? That's now our fucking family sigil. Me, Riley, Hopi, and Aiden. It's the new family sigil. There's a fucking war within all of us. And addicts do not have a monopoly on the fucking human condition. We fucking don't. My son, I don't fucking know if he's an addict. Did he fuck around with Zany? Sure. Did he smoke a little bit too much weed? Sure. But it's a fucking identification that we have to make for ourselves. He has not made that identification. Therefore, I will not call him a fucking addict. I will not stigmatize him. I will not do it. My niece, she struggles with drinking. She tells me, Uncle Thomas, I think I have a fucking problem. All right. Riley, she has an emotional issue. She has a dichotomy that needs to be reconciled. All three of the kids do. I do. But what it means to be of me and of my mother is we are going to walk around with a fucking dualistic personality that there will be one aspect of ourselves that will always be trying to actively fucking kill the fucking goodness in us. It can be confronted, it can be reconciled, and the way that I know how to do that is in the program of Narcotics Anonymous. That's all I got.